was just fantastic. Thank you all for coming. The reason why we did this was for you and our employees and our community. This is just a great turnout. I'm glad the weather has cooperated, and we are so honored by our honored guests today. Go ahead. You can talk about it.
I'm going to butt in here real quick. Like I've said over the last week here, it's not just my great-grandfather, and it's not just my grandfather, and it's not just my dad, and it's not just me that keeps this thing going for 100 years, but it's you guys out there. It's the customers. It's our employees. So please give yourself a big round of applause, all right? Again, without loyal customers and hardworking employees, we've had some employees working here for 3 decades, almost 4 decades. So that's fantastic. That's hard to find. The other thing that we wanted to thank, before we forget, is we have a list of local vendors and local businesses that helped us put this event on. And they're listed over here on the dry erase board, the whiteboard. A ton of people came through and helped us put this event on. So thank you to all those vendors as well. Thank you so much.
I would like to recognize the dignitaries that are here today. Senator Dale Brandlin, and when I call your name, could you come on up, Dale? Senator Harriet Spinell. Representative Doug Erickson. And Ken Opplinger, the CEO of the Bellingham and Whatcom Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Well, thanks, Bob. Thanks for the introduction. I want to welcome Alan Mullay back to the Northwest. He came to the Senate years ago when he was with the Boeing Company to introduce an airplane. I like to think that if he was still with Boeing, it might not be behind schedule. It is an honor to be here to congratulate the Diehl family, not only for the 100 years that you've spent here, but to thank you for your corporate citizenship to this community. I have been around here for nearly 30 years, and it seems like every time that there is a public event anywhere, the Diehl family is involved in it. And we greatly appreciate you, and what an honor it is for you guys to be here and for your employees to have this sort of an event. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dale.
I want to congratulate the Diehl family. I think it's fantastic to not only be the 3rd oldest dealership in the country, but it's in the same family for 100 years. And I think what that really means is they have been good employers also, to have the employees to stick with them over the years. So I just really congratulate them on this event. I too, I think it's really neat that you've got the CEO here, and to have Alan here, and I knew him from the Boeing days, and this is a great event for not only the Diehl family, but for Bellingham. Thank you.
It's such a great day to be here at Diehl Ford, and I got to tell you, 10 years ago when I first thought about public service, I came and talked to Bob Diehl, because when you think community, you think Diehl Ford. You think Ford, you think community. But what he talked about, the first thing was about community and about our home and about our city and about the people here that make it so great. And so it was such a great time then to think about that, and always thinking Diehl Ford and thinking community. That's what it's about. That's what they've delivered, and that's what they're going to continue to deliver, I'm sure, for the next 100 years in Bellingham also. Congratulations, and it's great just to be here with you guys.
Well, on behalf of the business community in Bellingham and Whatcom County, congratulations to Diehl Ford on your 100th anniversary. We're very pleased to be able to be here. I also have with me a mayoral proclamation from Mayor Dan Pike. It has a whole bunch of whereases and wherefores, most of it's stuff that's already been covered. But the important part is that he is declaring the month of June Diehl Ford Month in the city of Bellingham. He calls upon public officials, business people, visitors, and all citizens of Bellingham to observe this month, to celebrate with appropriate ceremonies, activities, and programs the riches of our community has to offer, and to recognize the important role Diehl Ford plays in creating and sustaining this great region. Congratulations to the Diehl family.
It's always great to get a bunch of happy folks like that here. So thank you very much. Okay, the next person that I'd like to bring up is the Northwest Regional Sales Manager for Ford Motor Company. He's in charge of Alaska, Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and parts of Montana. He resides right down in Seattle. He's been with us for about a year and a half, I think, here in the Northwest. And it's Peter Christopher. So come on up, Peter Christopher.
Thank you. I just want to tell everybody thank you very much for showing up today. This is a very special thing. I've given away a lot of anniversary awards, but this is the first time we've ever done one for 100 years. It's only the third time in the history of Ford Motor Company, which was founded in 1903. So if you think about the special part of that here we are, you know, within 6 years of the same date of being founded. So this is great. We appreciate you as customers and supporters of Diehl's, and we want to congratulate them. The second thing I'd like to say is it's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Mullay. As they've all said, he was here in the Northwest for a long time with Boeing. He led Boeing through a tremendous turnaround after the 9/11 days, and now we're fortunate enough to have his talent with Ford Motor Company, where he's in the process of leading us through a turnaround, and he's got his One Ford plan. It's laid out, and we're on our way back, and it's great to have him here. It's a very special occasion to have him here in Bellingham today. So without any further delay, Mr. Mullay.
Well, how are you all? Is this a big deal? Is this the real deal? You can imagine we could go on a long time about the deals. We have a little over 4,000 Ford dealers throughout the United States. And it's such an honor to be here to congratulate Bob and Mike on 100 years of operation. And you think about that, there's only 22 Ford dealers throughout the United States that have been in business 100 years and be owned by the same family. Is that a phenomenal accomplishment? Kind of a neat story. Over here is a 1909 Model T, and right here on your right is a 2009 Ford Flex. And I've been driving this vehicle around. This is the first one here in the Northwest. And I've had, as you know, is well documented, I had Lexus cars before I left and got religion, and now I drive Ford, of course. And this car is a better driving car than any of the Lexus that I've ever experienced. This is a phenomenal vehicle. You can get a 7-passenger version. The fuel efficiency is tremendous, and it goes on sale over the next couple of weeks. So I'm really glad that one of the first ones is going to be here with the deals. Another neat thing is that in the deals took over in 1908, and they sold 7 of these in 1909. And so it's just a tremendous history of innovation and being a great partner with the Ford Motor Company going forward. So again, for all of you, the wonderful customers of Ford, so glad you're here. I'm so glad you get to appreciate what the deals have done. And I just want you to know that we talked about Ford going forward. Ford's been the #1 car and truck company in the United States for 41 years. And with the fuel prices moving up, we also have about 60% of our vehicles are made outside of the United States. And we're in the top markets around the world. And we have these fabulous smaller cars and utility vehicles that we are accelerating, bringing them into the United States. So you're going to have a fabulous portfolio of small, medium, and large cars, utilities, and trucks. And there's no one that can take on the leadership in the automobile industry like the Ford Motor Company going forward. So for the deals, Bob and Mike, thank you so much for your leadership and for your partnership. And congratulations to all of you. And I personally think the deals rock. Thank you.
This is the first time that we've got to give one of the way up here in the Northwest, so it's a very, very special honor. This is a plaque for a 100-year anniversary from 1908 to 2008 to Bob and Mike Diehl. Congratulations.
Thank you. And of course, we have a plaque that we want to give to Mr. Mullay here. So if you could stay up on stage, that would be great. course, being from the Northwest, at least living down in the Seattle area, I think he'll appreciate what this is. It's a etched glass with Mount Baker in the background, and then it's got the Diehl kind of birthday cake centennial logo on there.
Well, we mentioned that we wouldn't be here without great customers, and we could pick 1,000 of them. We could pick all of you, but in the interest of time, we decided to pick 10. Now, 10 goes into 100 10 times, so that's good thinking that we picked the number 10. And I want to congratulate and bring up and recognize these 10 people for long-term continuous business with us in sales and service. The first one, Greg Cartier.
We're gonna get your picture taken here. So this is with Mr. Mullay.
Next are Debbie and Brad Jackson. The Jacksons, you all know, are of athletic fame up at Western Washington University. Next is Rich Jacobson, the CEO of Horizon Bank. Horizon has been buying cars from us longer than I can remember. Now, did anybody see that P-51 Mustang out in the shop, 510 horsepower? That belongs to this guy, Frank Knight. Now, I remember when Frank's family first started buying cars from us a long, long time ago. They were in the candy business. Every time they bought a truck, they filled this place full of candy, and we gained weight during those days. So, Frank, come up and take our congratulations and thanks. Now, we have sales records that go all the way back to 1908, and one of the firms in this town that we see the most often and the earliest in those sales records is Blythe Plumbing and Heating, and representing Blythe is Dave Morse. Dave?
Thanks, Dave.
Another excellent sales and service customer of ours from the Linden area is Kenny Otter. Ken?
Keep that shelf.
Now, this fella we see in our service department so often, even if he doesn't need to come in for service, he likes us and we like him, so I'm glad he keeps coming back. John Timmerman. John? Now, this next person owns a company that was started by my grandfather over 100 years ago. It started off as a bicycle shop. They sold locks, guns, knives, bicycles, of course, and it turned into a company that was called for a long, long time Bellingham Lock and Safe, and now it's called Security Solutions. Jamie Voss. Thanks, Jamie. Now this fella, you see his buses running all over town hauling kids, and it's from Kids World, and his name is Mike Waters, and he has been a tremendous customer of ours for a long time. Mike, thank you very much. And last but not least, a very close friend of mine. I remember playing football with him when I was in high school, and we've sold him cars forever. His dad was a mayor of Bellingham a long, long time ago, and some of you probably remember that. And his name is Jack Westford. He's been a tremendous sales and service customer of ours.